Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this video. This video is the third in a series of videos using the Fairy Hugs Mabel's Lily of the Valley. And on this one we're going to make a tag, or a bookmark as I like to call them. This is a Studio Light die which has a mat and a layer and the little ring enforcer as well. And this is a Distress Oxide spray background. I like to do these. There's several videos on my YouTube channel which will show you how to do this particular background. I'm not sure what colours are on here. I think there's Blue Print Sketch, maybe a bit of Salvage Patina, maybe a bit of either Villainous Potion or Prize Ribbon. I don't know. Anyway, all the colours work together really well. It's quite a moody set of colours, this one. And we're going to be using Mabel's Lily of the Valley. All the products that we're using from Fairy Hugs and the Oxides are available on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, for shipping to UK addresses. The Studio Light die is no longer available. They're very hard to get hold of, but watch this space because there might be some others coming. And you can also get the Fairy Hugs products from fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping. Right, let's crack on and let's do some stamping. So I'm using the press to impress. In fact, I'm not going to use that first. I'm going to actually do some ground because we've got no ground on here. And we want something for the Lily of the Valley to actually stand on. So just a piece of watercolour card, and I'm using Distress ink. This is Rustic Wilderness, and a Craft Artist blending brush. So, sorry I'm holding it a bit weirdly. My hands aren't very good at the moment. So just getting some ground in there. Just something for everything to stand on. Just going to do one layer. Okay. So now we're going to go into the stamping platform. Let's give that a wipe. What did I do? Okay. So as I said, we're using the Press to Impress from Crafts 2. I will try and get some more of these in stock. And because obviously it's a tag and it's awkward, what I tend to do is I tend to use one of the lines and line my tag up against that and then anchor it with loads of magnets. So for this one, what we're going to do is, again, we're going to keep it very simple. And we are going to stand our bluebell, and I'm going to go slightly off the page, I think, with it, so we've got more room to put other bits and pieces in. And we'll just have another tag magnet on there. Now this is watercolour card. It's the super smooth watercolour card from Sentimentally Yours. It's excellent watercolour card, but it does mean that it sucks the ink up because it's super absorbent. So unlike the Fairy Hugs papers, you will probably need to stamp 2 or 3 times. So just make sure that everything's nicely anchored and well inked. Nice juicy ink pad, and we're using the Nocturne Versafine Clair here. Some of this mess that I've made. You can see I'm not a very clean stamper. Give it a good old press. Give the ink chance to actually be absorbed into the paper. Don't rush it, just take your time. That's pretty good actually. I am going to go again because that's a little bit light. Because I've only just used this stamp to do the other projects, it is actually nicely coated anyway, because I don't clean my stamps, not properly. Not unless I'm changing ink colour. If you change, sometimes if you want, say if I wanted to do stamp this in yellow for some reason, you would definitely need to clean it, because you're not going to get yellow when there's black on the stamp. Okay, so that's the beautiful, I'm going to call it Bluebell. It's called Mabel's Lily of the Valley, but I'm going to call it a Bluebell because it's more like a bluebell to me. Lily of the Valley leaves are broader. Now it could be that in America, where these stamps are from, that their bluebells or their Lily of the Valley are have got finer leaves, but ours in the UK are thicker leaves. So we're just going to pop Mabel just down here. See, she fits really nicely onto the tag or bookmark. Like I say, they make really nice gifts, and if you're doing you know, craft stalls and you're either selling items you've made for your own gain or for charities, then you can absolutely do that, as long as you are making something, a finished article. You can't just sell just lots and lots of stamped images to people. But yeah, bookmarks make a great addition to your craft stand at a stall, on a stall. So let's give Mabel a really good press, make sure her body is nicely stamped. Let's see how she is. She's pretty good, but I want her darker. I'll show you what she looks like right now. Oh, I never get this right, do I? She looks good, but we want her darker. As usual, I'm going to focus on her body more than anything else and not really put any extra pressure on the wings, because it's her body I will need to have nice and dark. And she's going on oxides as well, which isn't always the easiest thing to stamp on. I think I'm going to stick at that. There she is. Okay, so there's Mabel. So those are our two stamps that we're using from the Mabel's Lily of the Valley. In the first project that I made with these stamps, as part of this series, I did use all three stamps, so you can see that video on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is what you're watching, and it's Julia Watts Crafts. Okay, so I think as an addition on this one, what we're going to do is perhaps bring in a moon, and I'm going to use the full moons. There is the spooky moons as well, but we're going to use the full moons, and I'm just going to bring one in just up there, I think, just off the edge, like so. My magnet there, and I think what we're also going to do is, because I like to have creatures on these, I think we're going to bring in the snail, and this is a set of 4 snails. You've got rights and lefts and 4 different sizes, and I'm going to bring in the tiny one, and he's going to be just down there. Okay, so we'll stamp these at the same time, still keeping with the black because we are dealing with quite a dark background here. And the full moons, there's 2 different sizes, and the smaller one, I think it's the smaller one, this fits in the moon tree. If there's anything that I have on my website that is out of stock that you're after, there is the email when available button, and if you click that, as soon as I get more stock, then you'll get an email notifying you. I do order from Fairy Hook Stamps usually once or twice a month. I normally, because there's normally a new release every month, I normally order that new release in, and then 9 times out of 10 I need to top that up after the release has been on TV. So yeah, there's usually a replenishment of stock. So we've got the snail and we've got the moon there. Okay, so that's that. I think I do want a sentiment as well. So let's find one of those. And if you are doing bookmarks, there are 2 great reading sentiments. There's relax and between pages, which were bought out as part of the book collection. That fits in brilliantly, and a lot of those are absolutely fantastic for your bookmarks as well from the book collection. So what sentiments have we got? I think that's a bit too big. Let's go for a small one. I think we'll bring, this is fairy words, so you've got 4 big kind of sentiments and then some smaller ones too. Let's have a smile, because that should make everybody smile, make everybody feel happy. Okay. Magnet's over there for some unknown reason. Nice thick line sentiment. Okay. So let's just add a tiny bit of colour to Mabel, and I think we need something going on with the moon as well. Let's grab my Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens and let's see what this might do. I'm just thinking that we might want to have something going on around the moon, just like a bit of a halo. That kind of works. Make it up as I go along. And we've got kind of blues and purples going on in the background here, so let's grab a purple and just give Mabel a little bit of colour on her wings. Obviously it's optional. You can see from the second project, which is on my YouTube channel, that I didn't add any colour. Obviously it's up to you. You can also add a little bit of glossy accents if you want to. A bit of glitter, that's quite nice. Some of the stickles, glitter glues are really nice to add in as well. They do get a bit of sparkle. And let's go for a blue. I've sorted my pens into colour order. So they're not as the sets were originally. So I'm just doing this very simply, so it's quicker. Just adding a couple of different colours, so just a blue and a purple. So looking at what's in my background and just adding to that. You can of course use your distress inks and just add extra colour on that. The oxide shouldn't move because there is water used in the background, and whenever oxides hit water they oxidise, and then they tend to become fixed, which is fab. So So let's just have a little bit of do her hair. I'll do her hair. I always tend to go for this. In fact, this is the same colour as I put on the moon. This kind of mustard yellow. Obviously, just take your time, but I'm trying to do it nice and quick for you, just to show you that you don't have to be a colourist. There's no skill involved, just adding extra colour in. And then let's go back to that purple again and just add where you've got the lines of the dress, because they've all got little dresses on and extra little detail. Okay, I think that's good. Snail, we might or may not want to add a bit of colour to. I think I'm going to leave him as he is, and I'm going to leave the moon as it is as well. So just to finish this off, we'll grab some chipped sapphire distress oxide and just be careful that the ink will still be wet. Just ink around the edges. Drag that bit because you can't get into the nooks and crannies. It just means that you don't have that kind of stark white edge. And add that to our black mat, just with some Sentimental Yours PVA. I'll get into the bottom of this one. It lasts such a long time because you don't actually use very much. And I do I've got a board underneath here, and when I've glued I tend to pop everything underneath my board, and then it stays, it sets, the ink dries flat, and then you don't get any bowing at all. Give it a good press. Now be careful when you press the back of a die cut. There's a slightly beveled edge here, and if you run your fingers over that you'll get yourself a paper cut, so do be careful. So there we are. I just add a bit of baker's twine as well, and there's our bookmark. Put it down so you can see. Sorry about all the shadows. I have to have the light on because it's so dark at the moment, even though it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's Mabel, and this is our third project. I will just remind you of the first two where you can watch the videos. So this is the first one using Misty Whisk paper and the forest flowers and the Stay Forever sentiment. This is the second one, no colouring on this one, and this is again a Misty Whisk paper, and we've got the mini owls, and we've got mini hares, mini cats, and the smallest things sentiment, and then you've got the tag as well. So 3 very different projects, I think. It's hard for me to show them all. Using the Mabel's Lily of the Valley. And once again, you will find the products used at juliawattscrafts.uk for shipping to UK addresses, and at fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping. My YouTube channel is Julia Watts Crafts, and I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. But it would be wonderful. And there's also the Fairy Stamper YouTube channel as well, and there are lots of videos on there. Bonnie does a lot, and some of the design team members add them, and yeah, that's a great one to subscribe to. On Facebook you'll find me at Julia Watts Crafts, and there is actually an album on there with my Flower Fairies makes, and I will add this one to it, and the video links. And also on Facebook there is the Fairy Hugs store, group where you can join and see all the sneak peeks early and see projects by the design team, and we encourage you and we love it if you actually share your makes on there as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Do check out my other videos, and thank you for watching.